Content warning. Echo can be an emotionally intense experience and may not be for everyone. Echo contains themes of an adult nature, including violence, torture, drug usage, and harsh language. Viewer discretion is advised.
I'm gonna mute up. I'll be back.
All good. Chase'll track me down like he always does. He'd be pissed if I let anything happen to you guys, though. Who knows? Maybe he's seen the thing that I'm not going to describe because I know people believe in this, and I know it's a cultural thing that I'm not going to say out loud too. The accent side-eyes me with a baffled look. Do you have a spare gun, Akibaro? Jesus, is this really what it's come to? I look at Leo for a long moment. He's been sort of a gun nut as of late, which is real strange noting how against them he was in high school. You licensed? Yep, open carry, and I know what I'm doing. That's not saying much, noting our state has the most lax weapon licensing standards in the nation. That's typical for Jenna for you. Reality is going out the window, but she'll still be here thrusting some social and political bullet point in the middle of it. All my shit's licensed for me and me alone. Leo just stares at me before walking off. To your aunt's house then. He grabs a flashlight and makes his way out the front door. I guess we're going? Seems so. Carl and Daxton look at each other. I'm not feeling very good. If you're gonna puke, do it on Dax's side of the sink. The salamander, who's already looking unnerved, somehow manages to frown even more. Jenna strokes the Link's arm, muttering something that I can't quite catch. For a split second, a glimmer of a sad smile appears on his face. It diminishes quickly, but I guess I'm glad TJ's not completely broken. The group begins to head out, leaving their plates and cups on the counter. I linger a bit, catching Jenna as she's wiping her paws off a dish towel. Hey. Yeah? You wanted to tell me something? She gives me a look, and she doesn't know what I'm talking about. Huh? She pauses and nods as if remembering something. I'm happy for you and Carl. Her tone is idle, her mind seemingly focused elsewhere. If he's going to explore his sexuality, it's good that it's with someone he knows and trusts who's, experienced. Okay, I'm Jenna right now too, but like, damn, is this the time for ships? Like, it's always time for ships, but like, goddamn, Jenna. What? I cross my arms tightly over my chest, squinting down at her. How the fuck she knows I'm experienced? We ain't a thing. Yes, you weren't even much for having things in general. She looks out the window, her expression kind of like a mix of distant and troubled. Everyone's filing into the van except Daxton, who's holding up his phone to the sky trying to get a service, I guess. As I open my mouth to rebut, she holds up her paw. It's not what I wanted to talk to you about, and I suppose current matters are, she sighs, more pressing than would be appropriate to delay for this conversation. Her demeanor seems to shift, her posture not as full of that holier-than-thou air that she usually seems hell-bent on putting. I can see Leo behind the wheel now, surely getting antsy. Yeah, Leo looks like he's about to pop a hemorrhoid already. I just wanted you to know I understand your concerns more clearly. I grunt. Yeah, well, hopefully my aunt can help me understand yours. I thumb back the electrical socket. Jenna looks at it, pursed her lips, and scowls. I can't tell if she's frowning at herself at this point. When all logic's gone out the fucking window, her shtick of being the rational mind here is certainly at a challenged. With a small nod, she turns, heading out with the rest. I sigh, pulling back the lever on my repeater and watch the clip extend toward. I remember to load it, after all. Here's hoping I don't need it. I push it back and head outside. I'm gonna grab that dry, stale piece of bread that I put on my bed and eat a bit of it. And don't worry, it's on a plate. I didn't just randomly put a bread on my bed. I just left it there for space. Okay. Bread bed. Some may say I loaf you guys. Ahaha. I'm inwardly cringing right now. Why did I say that? Leo's quiet as he drives, occasionally checking the rearview mirror. Everyone else is pretty silent. Silent too. Enjoy your walk. All right, we'll be here. It's weird being in a car with Carl and him just sitting there quietly and not staring at his phone or anything. It's like he doesn't know what to look at and is stuck pondering his own thoughts for a change. I look at Jenna, who's monitoring her own phone for any signs of signal. That sign the signal will stay consistent enough to get a message out. It's hard to believe it, but she's actually trying to apologize earlier. In her own weird way, of course. Part of me wanted to say I was sorry for what I said at the river about how she treats her family, but that would be lying. I'm not sorry for what I said, but I can tell when something hit hard and hurt more than I'm happy with. People dance around shit all the time when so much of this bullshit could have been avoided if people were just honest with each other. I roll down the window and prop my knee up on the dash, craning my neck some to peer at TJ in the mirror. He knows I'm watching him. Hell, I think everyone's watching him. Even with Socket Man as a cover story, him keeping silent about all of this for so long is just cruel. Did he truly think not mentioning this fur color, the fur color of the person in the water with Sydney, was for the best? Maybe he thought he could have avoided a situation like this, our group getting shattered. Well, our group is fucked now. No way in hell I want to hang out with anyone but Carl after this shit. I wouldn't think the same. I would think the same way too, honestly. And it wasn't like it was all peaches and gravy these past few years anyway. Chase, TJ, and Jenna hadn't so much as texted me since they left for college. And Leo, he used to visit me back in the warehouse when I packed freights. We fucked a couple of times, but he seemed to get more and more disgusted with our arrangement. I couldn't tell if it was with me or him, but it was awkward as hell. I mean, I'm not the sentimental type, but when you're being screwed by someone and they glance away anytime you look at them, it makes you feel like shit. Oh my god. Oh my god, that feels so wrong. I eventually had enough. Told him I wasn't his fucking otter and to get a fleshlight like the rest of us. He cut me out of his life right there and then. Even stopped visiting Carl. It's shitty watching someone who was once a social butterfly turn into an absolute recluse. For the first part of this week, he was trying so hard to act like his old self that nothing has changed. We were the fags and weirdos in the middle of butt-fuck nowhere. Of course we stuck together. But as Carl says, shit's broke now. As we make the turn off into Margaret Street, I spot a familiar dust-covered plastic flamingo that adorned Auntie's yard. The manufactured house was built back in the 80s and still dons the sort of faded turquoise color scheme. She added these pink diamond-shaped bathroom tiles all around the roof's edge a couple of years ago too. For Halloween and Christmas, she hangs up neon-colored tube lighting, and I swear you can see her house lit up from miles away. I'm not entirely sure what aesthetic she's going for. Carl called it vintage trailer trash once, and I guess that's fitting enough. Leo slows the van some as we approach. I don't see any lights on. No car in the driveway. She can't have parked in the garage. Shit's still packed full of boxes of uncle stuff. Guys? The salamander pokes the glass of the window next to him, pointing at something across the street. Ooh, that's Karen's place, right? Our old bus driver? It looks like someone's broke in. Is that recent? The colored glass on the front door is shattered. Piles of Technicolor shards are splayed across the concrete porch. Yeah, Very, as in, it wasn't like this when I stopped by this morning. People are taking advantage of emergency services being out. I hope she's okay. Her car's not her car's not here either. They broke her statue too. The little sombrero Chihuahua man statue she had next to the door is completely shattered. It's smashed into 100 pieces. The wooden bienvenido. No, bienvenido. Yeah, bienvenido. Sign that used to hang around the neck is split in half and laying in the dirt saying bienvenido. God. Oh, good. Jenna mumbles. I clutch my rifle a little tighter, trying to see if there's any movement going around inside the house. It's completely still beyond the light swaying of pink lace curtains from the breeze outside. It's still probably best we speak with the mayor, perhaps with what's going on. She's returned to City Hall. My heart drops in my chest. Yeah, that makes sense. Hopefully the crazy guy is gone by now. Yeah, I don't know. She doesn't usually work on Saturdays. Jenna raises an eyebrow at me. Well, this is quite a Saturday, Flynn. Leo sighs, putting the van into gear. City Hall that is. It's well into the night by the time we pull into the gravel parking lot. Sure enough, Auntie's teal hatchback Jeep is parked by the side of the building. Daxon squints at it, then points. A Dastra bumper sticker. On the chrome bumper, there's a decal, what I guess is a silhouette of Captain Amicus with some sort of insect on his face. In golden, spacey font, it reads, "These things are harmless. Don't worry." I didn't know your aunt was cool. She's not. I grumble loudly, my mind racing as I try to think of a distraction to keep everyone away from outside. Everyone but Carl and I are already getting out of the van. The Ram giving me a nervous look before nodding at me and speaking up. Dudes, wait a second. What? Leo's tone is curt as he looks back at the Ram, who's sluggishly pulling himself out. I feel like I'm gonna be sick. Now? It's all that freeze-dried ice cream. It's so shitty, I can't handle it. Carl begins to make a retching noise, and Jenna quickly covers her ears. Oh God, Carl! Ugh. Please, just don't throw up in my van, yeah? Guys? Carl continues to make some more visceral, gut-wrenching, upburning sounds I've heard. They practically sound wet. Guys? I turn around to see what TJ's trying to get our attention for. A whole bunch of cars are driving down the road in our direction, like a convoy. I recognize the one in front. It's Mark in his SUV. He works at City Hall. They start to pull in the parking lot. It's quickly filling up to the point where folks are starting to park in the road. What's going on? Here's my chance. That's Mark. Maybe he'll need he'll have some answers. I need to head inside real quick. I'll be right back. Jenna nods slightly, watching what looks like a bunch of townsfolk get out of their cars in front of us. I pass the still hunched over Carl and give him a squeeze on the shoulder. Thanks. I feel like I'm actually gonna puke now after all that. Don't. I head inside. It's quiet when I enter, though I can hear the subtle sounds of shuffling paper coming from down the hall. I'm starting to feel this strange sort of pang in my head, like someone's pressing on an ice pack in front of my skull. Maybe it's because I'm nervous. Regardless, here I go. I walk, light peering down around the corner into Auntie's office. Her fingers flick around various pages with a manila folder, her topical flower print scarf swaying with her every movement. I watch her illuminated. Yes? I watch... Hi. I watch...
Next one's in 16 minutes.
Yeah. All good. I watch her illuminated only by the soft glow of the moonlight outside. I'm wrought with this unease sort of feeling where I can't tell if she actually knows that I'm here or not, or whether she cares. Also, we're in the City Hall now, and Flynn is panicking because we did lock Chase in that room.
Oof. But he's gone now.
We don't know that. I think he's hallucinating. I think he was hallucinating. It's can you look up like can you look up symptoms of like that type of spider bite? Maybe he was, cause like
for a Black Widow spider bite?
Yeah.
You know that's like practically instant.
Yeah. It's a familiar feeling, but never one I quite got used to.
The programmer just came in with a bunch of puppies.
No. the puppies?
Puppies.
Oh.
Cheese puffs.
Oh, okay. There's a hell of a ruckus outside. You looking for something? Anything of substance regarding the whole hysteria business? She speaks plainly. What? I'll tell you in a second. Is Mark here yet? She cranes her neck to peer out the tiny slitted window in the corner of her office, yet there's not much of a view other than the other side of a sage bush.
Y'all hear crunching. I'm very sorry.
ASMR, ASMR. I saw him pulling up in the SUV outside with like a whole convoy of folk following him. This about Clint? She looks up, seemingly to notice my repeater for the first time. Her brow furrows. You know, under any other circumstances, I'd give you a chewing out for bringing that inside. I did hear he's been making a hell of a scene around town, waving the gun around. Figured it was a meth binge until I saw Dale doing the same thing. Diner Dale? That fucking otter is kind of a softie, ain't he? You don't think it's got to do with this painkiller addiction? With his painkiller addiction? Oh, jeez. Everyone's freaking on drugs.
Apparently.
I popped full of the pills he takes earlier. You know, for the aches. It ain't that sort of thing to put ya in a gunfighting mood. I nod. Despite everything she's telling me, I can't really focus on it. I keep looking back towards the closed reading room door behind me. Fuck, might as well just get it over with. I take a deep breath. Did you let Chase out? What? She seems confused at the sudden change of topic. Chase? Leo's lover boy? Former lover boy. He hasn't been pounding on the door to get out. Boy, what you talking about? I haven't seen him since you brought him in. And the Hendricks boy to City Hall the other afternoon. I turn, moving down the hallway, unlocking the reading room door. I always thought it was
not there.
I always thought it was weird that it had a lock facing the hall. Though I think Auntie mentioned there used to be a back exit through here. What the hell? Flynn, what did you do? I ignore my aunt's exasperated voice as I push open the door, stepping into the dark room. It's mustier than a skunk's ass in here with all the rain damage. I can practically feel the mildew and mold on my toes as I run my hand along against the wall. Eventually, I find the light switch. Chase? He's not in here? Carl's voice takes me by surprise, the ram standing slightly behind me. And of course, Daxon's there too, the salamander gapawing at the interior like he's in some kind of museum. I can't believe you locked Chase up. Like, do you city clerks have the authority to do that? Not unless he's like archiving him?
Archiving him.
Yeah. You told him? I glared down the ram, who quickly throws the flat of his paws defensively. He's your roommate. Dude, come on. It's not like he's part of the old group anyway. Fortunately, like Carl said, I don't see the rest of the gang. Carl noticed me peering past him and speaks up. They're talking with Mark outside. It's about time he showed up. Hi, Mayor. Hi. The two of them wave awkwardly. Auntie looks at the both of them with a sort of perplexed frown. Hello, y'all. I'm on point with her voice. It's so great. She responds abruptly, quickly looking back up to me. Now, Flynn, just give me a second. He's got to still be in here. I see a stained blue V-neck shirt laying on the ground in the corner by the old bookshelves. Chase! Still no response. It's then I notice there's something moving on the shirt. Spider warning. I'm going to read the rest, but like, give me like a minute or two. This is going to be something.
Oh, no.
Little specks that seem to be gathering in the folds of the fabric. Oh, fuck me. I hold out my arm across the doorway, pushing Carl and Daxon back. Dude, what? Auntie, did Mark set off those bug bombs after work on Monday like I asked? I'm assuming by your tone that he did not. They've hatched. Oh, goodness. Can we not play the pronoun game right now? What are y'all talking about? I see the unused can sitting knocked over in the corner. Stay back, Black Widows.
Oh, that wasn't a hallucination.
That was real. I lower my arm and walk over to it, quickly popping the top and watching the fogger begin to mist the foul-smelling fumigation spray in the air. The effect is near instant. The skittering pattern of the little spiders began to grow more erratic. I watch as an adult one on Chase's shirt clambers on top of it, of an increasingly still pile of the little spiders. It just sits there, writhing. I can feel something on my foot too, but my scales are too thick for it to be a threat to me. I hear Carl mutter behind me. I take back what I've actually said. You do have balls. Excuse me? Sorry, Mayor Moore. Boys, I don't have time for this. As I look past the shelves, I see a big lump of fur curled up in the corner under the metal desk. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. I dash over, grabbing at the otter's scruff and yanking his ass out of there. He's surprisingly light, and I realize I've never picked him up before. Oh, damn, is he okay? Water. Give me water. There's some in the mini fridge. I'll get it. As I pull him into better light, he looks like absolute shit. His lips are chapped, bloody, and the whites of his eyes are bloodshot. There's also dribbles of vomit on the floor, which I had the misfortune of stepping in. Vomit and spiders. Fucking great. Chase, wake the fuck up! I gave his face a hard slap. Carl winces. The otter wheezes raspily, letting out some kind of low moan. Man, he's terrified of spiders. I know. Karma, right? The ram speaks in an uneasy tone, visibly uncomfortable at seeing Chase like this. Yeah, maybe. Next thing I know, Auntie's handing me a bottle of water. I bring it to his lips. Drink, you stupid idiot. If this was a prank of yours, it ain't a real gut buster, Flynn. Move over, you're gonna drown him. I feel a weird tingle in the back of my neck. Reluctantly, I step aside. I look at Chase, and part of me hopes he never wakes up. And I feel sick. Why is he just in his britches? A blink, glancing down and getting an eyeful of Chase's briefs. You didn't undress him before you shoved him in there, right? Or was that part of it? Jesus, no, God, no. I didn't do that. Daxon gave me a dubious look before shifting his concerned gaze back at the otter. Auntie, meanwhile, is propping his head up on a couple of office chair cushions, quietly urging the otter to drink as she wets his lips. They part for a moment, and Chase complies enough to get a swallow down. Again, part of me breathes a sigh of relief, while the other half seems to be filled with this sort of angry dread. Don't wake up. Daxon crouches down beside him, pulling back some of his fur around the collarbone and showing the swelling red skin beneath. Must be where he got bit. And of course 911 isn't working. Carl chuckles nervously. I guess it's too late to suck the venom out, right? You know that doesn't actually work. It's just dumb old westerns that made people believe that crap. Well, I had a great-grandpa or great-great-grandpa who died of a spider bite. I mean, I think it was a tarantula or something. Tarantulas ain't venomous. Oh god, wrong voice. Tarantulas ain't that venomous. It was old as hell. There might have been like, I don't know, a fuckload of them. I don't know. Boys, this is a real reassuring talk. But could one of y'all get me one of them first aid kits from the bathroom? It's just around the corner. Daxon stands up again and nods, heading off. Chase's eyes are fluttering a bit now. Maybe he's having a seizure or dreaming something real crazy. I can't tell. The salamander returns, clutching the thick metal case that looks like it's from the 90s. Auntie takes it, opening it up and grabbing what she needs like she's done this 100 times before. She applies cold water to a piece of cloth and presses it against the spot near Chase's neck where the bite is. Once it's damp, she takes an old tube of antibiotic cream, squeezes it out about a quarter in the contents of the bite spot, and lathers it. Chase winces, letting out a cry. Stop. His voice is high-pitched and kind of pathetic, like a child. Oh, don't whine. You're a big boy. I'd be whining if I was in his position. It's kind of fitting, like Carl said, ain't it though? He looks at me as if he's trying to gauge my expression. I'm managing to keep pretty stone-faced despite everything. If he did what y'all are saying he did, I can tell this weird distance Carl and I are keeping from him, despite his sorry state, is unnerving the salamander. Just a couple hours ago, it was all figured we were old friends and such. Chase begins to sit up, and it's like my heart lurches. I get that feeling in my skull again, like brain freeze. No. Only Carl seems to notice as I clutch my temple that the ram gives me a nervous, concerned look. Finally, Chase looks to me. Flynn? again with a childlike voice. It's like he's taunting me. I suck at my lips. What the fuck am I supposed to say? I want to slap him again. I want the fucking truth. But he looks so fucking pathetic. Everything is stiff. Oh, in the spider sequence, the spiders start crawling up his body and in his shirt, where to the point where he rips off his clothes trying to get them off of him and start like pulling at his fur to get them off. That's why he's naked. No kidding. You rolled in a dawn black widow's nest, kid. More interesting thing is to add to your little movie you're making to Fair Town. Auntie sighs. I'm worried you'll have some more content here in a bit. What? What's out? He seethes through his teeth as he clutches at his neck. What's going on? He reminds me of TJ, like he's about to start crying at the moment he notices something. I haven't seen him like this in a long time. Carl's gaze shifts to the floor. I feel weird. Are you okay? Everything hurts, but it feels different. It's like this isn't a dream. It's not? I look at Auntie. He's gonna be fine, right? These bites can be a real painful. It could have been nastier with a brown recluse, but it still ain't gonna be fun. I'd get him some professional help if I were you. If that's possible. I'm not gonna die. Chase peeps up, still clutching at his neck. Unless you ain't you're an infant, elderly, or allergic, it's doubtful.